Hi, Eric. Hi, Ben. I'm Christopher Gallardo with Telltale TV. How are you both doing today?
Really good. Thank you so much for having us.
No
Yeah, great.
problem.
Thank you.
No problem. I just gotta say, it's an honor talking with you guys because I have grown up with the amazing world of Gumball since I was in middle school all those years ago. And this series really felt like pure classic Gumball. And to get this started, what was the inspiration to finally bring back the world of Gumball after like a 6 year hiatus? Because you guys had Darwin's Yearbook and the Gumball Chronicles back in like the early 2020s. So what was the inspiration of doing this series instead of doing like a reboot or like a new project?
Um, the situation in the industry, to be honest. No, but it's also no, it's the reality of this. With like this was part of like a generally like bigger commission of Gumball things that we were making. We were working on a movie which got temporarily delayed, and so the series was still commissioned. So narratively, we had to like kind of hook back into it, and I think
Mm.
Matt Lazel, who's our showrunner, and Erik, who's with us, who's our series director, have done like a wonderful job. It's not getting, like when you get given CPR and they just kind of like reanimate you with the
Mm.
pads. That's
Mm.
kind of how it came about.
And you have no
Mm.
sense of how much time lapsed. Like how long were they out?
Yeah.
So would you say the development of certain episodes from this series was sort of different from how you pitched and sort of developed the episodes from the original series? Like, how did that process work? Because you guys are going from like Cartoon Network to Hulu right now. So like, is there any difference?
Nah, it's the same. I think people wanted us to like continue, making Gumball episodes. In terms of how like we originated the stories, it's always the same. We sort of like dig into everyone on a cruise past for like their most shameful or like kind of problematic moments as children, and then we exploit this and turn it into comedy. That's our secret recipe.
And for you, Eric, I really love the new episodes, especially the boring and the assistants. Which which episodes did you really love working on, and which ones do you really hope that you can get fans to see the most?
I was just saying in a previous interview that it changes all the time, but currently my favorite episode is the Unfollow. That one's really
Mm.
fun. Yeah, it like centers on a secondary character or even like tertiary character, but I like all those that kind of feel like they're not fan service, but they're highlighting a character that we've seen, and learning more about them. So that's really fun.
Speaking on side characters, I also really love what you Ben did with like Claire Cooper and her friends back in like the others. Will there be also more like original side characters that are also introduced in these episodes like you did there?
Yeah, there's some new characters in there. Some of them probably won't survive past their featuring in the episode.
Oh yeah.
um, but some others like feel like they might be there to stay.
Mm.
Matt and Greg have been busy like creating new funny looking creatures for everyone to laugh at. I'm looking forward to showing them all to you.
So on that sort of same note, can we also expect like a recurring villain like the role that Rob played in like season 6 in sort of this new season as well?
Yeah, definitely. Their names are Darwin and Gumball. They're their own worst enemies.
No, but obviously we resolve this cliffhanger and that hiccup and that, like narrative hiccup that happened between those two seasons, and it's like a very kind of like sweet episode which does Rob some justice finally. So I hope people
Mm.
tune in for that.
I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to sort of see what you guys are cooking on that side of things. But on more Gumball and Darwin, I love what you also guys did like in the previous series with Penball and Carwin, as the fans call them. And I just want to reflect like sort of on the shipping episode a little bit because these two ships have been sort of really popular in the space of animation and pop culture as a whole. So as these two sort of relationships developed over time, how did their gradual development really affect your sort of viewpoint on the series and also on these characters as a whole, given like the fan fictions and all of the art that you guys have seen from these characters?
I think echoing it is a fun thing to do. You know, this is what we were trying to do with the shipping. We were trying to sort of have this time capsule of like what the fans were trying to do with their original creations and stuff, like in relationship to Gumball and stuff. Other than that, I don't know if we're doing much I mean, there is a little bit of fan service. Sometimes we're like, oh, people love that character so much, we have to like bring her back, you know. So Yuki is back, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yuki and Nicole's story, you know, like that's a ship like not many people talk about, but it's one. and and we kind of like delve further into their relationship, and their history and stuff.
Would you guys say that there was like any particular like sort of fan creation or fan artwork that particularly inspired like a specific design, a specific visual, or like a specific concept, like story based as well?
I think it was like the way, like, were we still talking about the shipning specifically?
Yeah.
I think it was more about like the way people used to present their characters on deviant art. It had this kind of like grids with
Oh
specifics.
yeah.
What's the
Yeah,
catchphrase? You know what I mean? And we were like trying to respect. But obviously, these were like kids drawing these characters, so sometimes it just they would put like whatever just to kind of get over it and post it. And I thought that was like really funny to kind of integrate as a joke into the show, you know. We're
oh,
gonna see more Carrie and Darwin. There's like a double episodes dedicated to that. There's more Penny, like we're gonna see Penny's family. I know people wanted to see that, so that's coming.
what about you, Eric? Also same to you. Was there like anything from the fans that inspired you necessarily for this new show?
I can't think of any specific like fan art or anything that we turned into. I think for me, I was more because this is my first season on the show. I was mining kind of directly from the show itself as a point of inspiration. You know, what I mean, there's so many characters and
Oh,
stories already there. There's like a great frame of reference. So yeah,
yeah.
I can't say that I could trace it back to like a piece of fan art.
Was there like a specific episode then from like the original series that inspired your specific like thing, like your specific episode that you worked on for this season?
Sure, yeah, like the Fury, you know, the how crazy that gets stylistically and what is the one about the refrigerator that Richard is so emotionally attached to? The I'm gonna get roasted for not knowing the title. But the one that goes full Mad Max, like that, that is what's possible in an episode, you know. Is it the it'll come to me after we're off the call.
It's
Yeah,
me.
like
I forgot all the names of the shows.
yeah,
Yeah, it just starts with the and then like a single word and like it gets
yeah.
mixed up. Yeah. Also to continue on with like artwork itself, if there do you guys think there will ever be like a physical box set or like official release soundtrack or art book for the Amazing World of Gumball as well as this show and its future installments?
I think the people who want it will have to claim her for it, you know, and launch a campaign or something, and go straight for like the marketing people at Cartoon Network, Warner Brothers, Hulu, and I'm sure they could make it happen, you know.
Mm. Well, I really hope that we can get like physical media from this series because this entire series has just been like extremely popular and it's been, as I said before, like one of my core favorite shows from Cartoon Network way back in the day. And I really hope we can get that. But I also have like a few fan questions from like this show as well as the Amazing World of Gumball. So how do you guys think the time jump from season 6 to this show works given the film still sort of being in development? And would you guys consider this show being like a reset by the void post finale?
Kinda, yeah. I think that's why they're covered in dust and stuff. You know, they've just been like non-animated for 6 years, and then and then they wake up and they're like, oh god, we have to continue with our lives, you know.
do you think the world of the Amazing World of Gumball and the wonderfully weird world of Gumball is actually a simulation of something that's much more complex outside of the void? Because some of the theories that I've seen of what Gumball's world could be is like dark, because I saw like this one theory where apparently the show is like coming from like a child's traumatic experience, and I don't know how that's panned out, but do you think there's something like, do you guys like sort of believe in some of those darker theories that some people have been throwing around?
No, I've got, obviously I've got my own theory of what it is, you know, which I will not reveal. Like, this is something like we're saving for the movie, and yeah, it will be answered. And I don't know how dark. I wouldn't say it's dark. No.
Like,
But narratively, it is a continuation of the Amazing World of Gumball,
yeah.
right? Like in the finale of this season of Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball, it kind of picks up where season 6 left off.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Do you guys think after season 6 there will be like more installments of the wonderfully weird world of Gumball in like the near future after like the movie is done?
I really think you guys are gonna have to watch all of it first.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it's like, because I got like the
And yeah,
first
I think
batch
like
and like,
it all depends on like the audience response to this new season. I hope it's massive, and I mean I'm already writing new episodes for a potential season 8, but
ooh,
that it's not greenlit just yet.
ooh, well, I can't wait to see how that pans out with you and Eric in the near future. And sort of going back to the fan questions that I have, the most anticipated episode that I think will be one of the heavy hitters of the season is the Canceligation, given how it sort of feels like there's a connection between that and the Inquisition and sort of the Void. Is
Oh
this
yeah.
the one where Rob saves the world with the Watterson family? And what can we expect from that?
Expect for it to be cancelled. Actually, I think the episode never got made. I don't think we. Yeah, I don't think that's an episode we did this season.
The Canceligation? I think I've seen it like in some of the like the rosters, but if that wasn't like part of the episodes this season, how would that have panned out then?
I'm not gonna tell either.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you can be cryptic. You can be cryptic if you want to. Dropping like a few hints here and there, but I mean, I totally get it. And sort of going on, I
You're asking
also,
interesting questions, and I think
yeah,
people are asking themselves the same questions, but they're gonna have to watch it to know
yeah,
kind
I
of
really
deal
can't wait.
with the
Oh,
audience.
I don't know. It's such like there's a lot to talk about just from like the lore based episodes, because there is like this meta thing going on with it that's been going for like so many years now, and I think you guys really did like a great job keeping that like meta narrative in the background, to be honest.
Mm.
And yeah, so
It's
sort
a
of keeping
slow
with like,
drip, but it will
yeah,
pay off. I
mm,
promise.
I can't wait to see how it pays off. And sort of going back on Gumball and Darwin, I know it was kind of answered also back in the origins about Darwin's past, but is there any sort of chance we could see his birth parents in like a near future season or even in the movie? And is there a particular reason why it sort of kept mysterious?
I mean, it's an episode we regularly like. We've been trying to write that episode for like at least 4 seasons or something. And we never land on anything that's like emotionally great, you know. So I think until we get the right ID for it, we're gonna save this for later, you know.
One last question for both of you, because I've had this show in like my mind for like so long since middle school, as like said before. How do you guys think that this new revival, like of the Amazing World of Gumball, much like other revived animated series like with Phineas and Ferb, can sort of leave a lasting impact both in regards for its significance to pop culture as well as animation as a medium?
I don't think that's for us to decide that really. It's a miracle we're still allowed to exist, and I'm very happy with that, you know. I'm happy to have a job. I'm happy that
Yeah.
people are excited to like watch it, you know. I'm happy to go to Comic-Con, like meeting American fans for the first time, like ever, the
Oh.
audience that I've never met, you know. Right now it's all looking up for us. I don't think we're a staple of pop culture or anything, but that's not for me to say. You know.
I mean, the show over here is like so popular with like so many different fans. You have like sort of the older fan base and the younger fan base, and they really love the show. They call back on it so often not. You can like see on social media how they interact with the show, and the way they do it is just so amazing. But I gotta say, Eric, Ben, it's been a wonderful time talking with you today, and to just like get to talk about the entire series as a whole and this entire franchise as well. I just gotta say, good luck with the movie, first of all, and I really hope that we can talk again in the future. But it was amazing time talking to you guys, and thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Christopher. Thanks so much.
Bye.